Now, St. Kitts announces a citizenship by investment residency clause as Dominica breaks silence on U.S. travel ban. What's going to happen is St. Kitts now is going to require a residency period before you get the passport. Now, this just came out in ZIZ yesterday. Now, one thing that you're going to have to, and also Emmy had also mentioned something on this, but two things that they didn't mention here, and that is the time period of the residency. I don't even think they've come up with that yet. And the applications that are already in the process that have been turned in, are those people are going to be required also to actually, go through this residency period before they can get the citizenship or passport. I assume that they would be grandfathered if the apps are in now. Probably if you're getting ready to turn the apps in, if you let us know ahead of time, we can check for you. If you're a client of ours right now, we can go ahead and check on that for you to find out if they're going to take that. So, but more than likely, new people coming in, they're not going to take any more apps, I would assume. And also, if you have your paperwork in now, we'll just have to check and find out if they will accept that. And they might have a cutoff time, and it could have been a month ago. Who knows? But as soon as we find out something, we'll let you know. Now, this is how it's going to work. Now, Prime Ministers Terence Drew of St. Kitts and Nevis and Roosevelt Skerritt of Dominica have both responded to reports of potential U.S. travel restrictions by promising major reforms to their citizenship by investment programs. Now, Drew announced mandatory and residency requirements for the Citizenship by Investment Program, while Skerritt broke his government silence with pledges of new legislation within days. And they're really concerned because, they lost their visa-free status to the UK a while back, and they definitely don't want to screw this up again. And remember, I just did a video. I put it out today, but this just came out, so I thought it was important that you need to learn this right away. And that video was done before all this came out. So, and the other video was talking about the EU now is doing what the US wants to do, and that is they want to look at the whole citizenship by investment program. And what they're doing is pretty much, it's you can look at the other video I just put out today. They're basically stating that if a fast track program exists, they will probably not only not issue a visa, they will probably or make it not. They might not make it where you can get visa-free travel, okay? But they might just turn the visa down totally if you're from that country, from that fast track program. In other words, you got a passport from whatever that country is. So I think you're going to see all the fast track programs fold in on this. Antigua says they won't do it for now. This is the problem, okay? And we do Antigua, we do also St. Kitts, okay? I'm not favoring any particular country because we do both of those. But if you get an Antigua passport and they don't comply with this, you could have a monster of a problem getting visas going to Europe. In fact, they would end up caving in because the citizens of Antigua would not put up with it. It would be too much. It would be too much stress losing all those visa-free countries to Europe. So what you're going to see is all the fast-track programs are going to end up caving in on this, okay? St. Kitts is just the first one that I've seen that's stated that they're going to do it. They just hadn't mentioned what that residency period is going to be yet. Also, folks, if you can do us a big favor, we do not monetize our channel. It would help us out tremendously. If you like our videos, give us a thumbs up, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button right on your screen. You'll get new videos as they come out automatically. And if you want to legally get your income taxes to zero or how to get a second passport as quick as anywhere from 4 months to a year, get with us at www.citizenshipquickly.com and just ask for some help. Although for right now, I don't even know if we can still do it in 4 months to a year because more than likely they're not going to take new apps. I'll let you know as soon as I find out something, just letting you know right now because I don't know, okay? And I'll let you know as we find out. But again, both leaders confirmed that their governments have received no official communication from Washington regarding a State Department memo suggesting travel bans in 36 countries. I just did a video on that, okay? And now the coordinated response follows weekend discussions among regional leaders with citizenship by investment programs who agreed on uniform reforms to address U.S. concerns about investment migration programs. Now, St. Kitts now is introducing, again, the citizenship by investment residency requirements. Now, Dr. Drew, which also Prime Minister Drew, announced the most substantial policy change affecting Caribbean citizenship by investment programs, confirming that St. Kitts will require residency for all future applicants. Now, and that's telling me that if you turn in an application now, you will have that residency requirement. But again, I don't know what that period is going to be yet. A residency clause will be part of the new law. Now, Drew emphasized during ZIZ radio interview, he stated that, let me say that clearly, residency clause and the biometrics, those will be part of the new law, which is to pass very, very soon, within a few weeks. The residency requirement represents a fundamental shift for Caribbean citizenship by investment programs, with the exception of Antigua and Barbuda, which have historically attracted international investors precisely because they offered citizenship without relocation obligations. Well, we'll see what happens here. But I'm telling you, if you jump in real quick with Antigua, and Antigua does not follow these rules, and they lose all the visa-free travel to Europe, you're going to have a junky passport. And you're also going to have to decide, are you willing to reside in another country for a certain period of time? That's another thing you're going to have to look at. Now, the elite U.S. memo explicitly cited the availability of citizenship by monetary investment without requirement of residency as grounds for potential restrictions. Now, St. Kitts plans to implement comprehensive biometric systems alongside the residency clause. All citizenship by investment applicants will complete in-person or verified virtual interviews, while the application process will incorporate biometric data collection according to the official government statements. Now, Prime Minister Drew positioned these changes as strategic rather than reactive, arguing that this is not seen as disingenuous. This is actually a path that we have been traveling since day one. I actually think this is a good choice that he made, because no one in St. Kitts wants to lose those visa-free countries, and they stand to lose more than they gain by keeping the program the way it is. And I totally agree with what he's done here. I strongly applaud him for making this change because people don't want to lose the right to travel to Europe visa-free. Now, Drew emphasized transparency in his reform approach, declaring that the CBI, which is Citizenship by Investment, is not a private club. It is the business of the people. He described that the reforms as essential for program credibility, noting that this is about safeguarding our national interest, preserving the strength of our passport, and upholding our responsibility as a trusted member of the international community. I've actually been talking to the government since February with a top official there about this, and I think they're taking a lot of that in consideration too, because I've told them that it's just a matter of time before. I didn't think it would be this quick, but I told them at that point back in February that the EU and the US were going to be coming after the fast-track programs, and they needed to come out with a short residency by investment program. I've been putting many videos, y'all have seen these out, that they needed to come out with that. Maybe, I'm hoping they'll come out with maybe a 1 to 3 year period max, no more than that, because there are countries you can go to and pay almost nothing for a 5-year residency and then get the passport, So they're all over the world. To be competitive, they need to keep it within 1 to 3 years, preferably 1 to 2 years. Better yet, 1 year, okay? And if the EU bitches and complains about that, they might have to stretch it out to 2 years. But I don't see that they would say anything on that. I mean, Dominican Republic has got one that's a 2-year period that you don't even have to reside there. But the problem is that's a junky passport. They don't have visa-free, the Schengen countries. So they don't have to worry about that anyway, because the passport's the worst in the whole Caribbean. The DR, you also have to learn a language. You have to learn the Spanish language, take a test there. That's not a good deal. Anybody who's going after that passport is a junkie passport. But I think 1 to 2 years would be good. Now, St. Kitts has received 9 deportees from the United States this year, though Drew reaffirmed that his country remains welcoming to returning citizens. He mentioned that our citizens are always welcome back. He stated, while noting that safeguards will be in place to ensure public safety when deportees return. Now, Drew reassured travelers that everything remains totally normal for current visa applications and travel arrangements. Now, St. Kitts activated diplomatic channels immediately after a report surfaced, contacting the U.S. Embassy in Barbados for clarification. Now, however, embassy officials indicated they had not received any formal communication about this so-called list, according to Dr. Drew. Now, Ambassador J.C. Henry Martin met directly with the State Department officials in Washington, though Drew reported that officials are waiting for an update from the embassy in Barbados on communications with the State Department to determine what is the way forward with this. Now ST.KITTS, which is with Dominica, because Dominica promises swift legislation action because of all the stuff that happened before with the UK and they lost the visa-free travel. They're on the stick this time. Now, the other ones are probably going to be lagging behind, but if they're not careful, they could lose that visa-free status to these countries and maybe lose that status, man. You're dealing with the government in the EU and the US. It takes forever to get them to change their mind. Once they've made a change, to get that change back, it could take years to do it. So this is the issue there. Now, ST.KITTS told Dominicans at a Monday press conference, he stated that there really is no need or cause for panic, marking his first public comments since reports emerged. His government had remained notably silent while regional counterparts in Antigua and Barbuda, St. Lucia, and St. Kitts issued similar responses. Now, the Prime Minister emphasized his government's commitment to protecting citizens while maintaining the situation diplomatically. He also said that, I assure the people of Dominica that we take the matter seriously and the government is addressing this through appropriate diplomatic channels. He also added that his government is committed to protecting our national interests, the integrity of our international partnerships, and most importantly, the rights and freedoms of the Dominican people. Now, Dominica will implement its own legislation changes targeting citizenship by investment program concerns. We also do Dominica. This is one reason I'm really highlighting what's going on with that country too. ST.KITTS revealed that Caribbean leaders agreed during weekend meetings on a complete ban on the ability of any African to change their names during or after the citizenship by investment application process. So once you become a citizen under the program, you will not have the ability to change the names to benefit from the citizenship of our countries he was talking about here. Now, the Prime Minister promised additional reforms beyond name change restrictions, noting that there are some other administration things, all of which we believe would be captured in the new legislation, which we will share with the public in the next few days. He emphasized that Caribbean leaders already established an independent regulatory authority among member states with citizenship by investment programs. Now, ST.KITTS confirmed his government's willingness to work with international partners on addressing concerns. He confirmed that his government is prepared to address the concerns raised by international partners through appropriate diplomatic and cooperative means. Now, from informal diplomatic engagement, the government learned that U.S. concerns include illegal immigration and visa overstays by Dominican citizens. This is another problem. So it's not just changing the citizenship program. It's these people that go over these countries in the EU and the U.S. and they overstay their time. So, these are other problems that could affect the visa-free travel, for these fast-track programs that exist today. Now, ST.KITTS acknowledged that one of them being illegal migration of Dominicans who are residing in the United States beyond their legal stay, people who are overstaying their visas. Now, ST.KITTS promised transparency in handling the situation, telling citizens that whatever information we've got. He said he would share it with the public. Now, whatever actions we're taking, we'll also share with you, he mentioned. And he described the United States as an important partner for many reasons on cultural, economic, political, and many fronts. Folks, if you want to learn more on this, again, go to our website, www.citizenshipquickly.com. Just ask for some help. If you want to legally get your income taxes to zero, how to get a second passport as quick as 4 months to a year, but that time is going to be waning out. Now, with St. Kitts, now we can probably still do it with Antigua, and there are other fast-track programs that won't be involved with this, but St. Kitts is definitely going to be involved with the residency requirement. There are other countries that don't have visa-free travel to the U.S. or the EU, so they don't care hoots about it. But remember that passport, if you go with an Egyptian, Jordanian, you go with a Vanuatu passport, either Turkey, none of those have visa-free to the Schengen countries. So, that's going to be a junky passport. So, you have to decide you want to go with that. But if you're in a rush and you're trying to get something quick, that's the way to go, because it looks like the other ones in the fast track area, they're probably going to be on their way out because they don't. I know St. Kitts is. I would assume that the other ones too are probably going to cave in on this also. But we do have other programs, like I said. If you still want the fast track program quick, we can help you on that. Also, folks, if you can do us a big favor, we need more videos to go out to people, and it will help us out tremendously if you give us a thumbs up if you like the video. And also, don't forget to hit the subscribe button at the right of your screen. You'll get these videos automatically as they come out, and it helps out tremendously on our algorithm, our channel. And I look forward to talking to you on the next video. Take care.